Myself Om Shankar Yadav, Assistant Professor Agronomy. Our topic is rain-fed farming, introduction and definition and importance. The agriculture is the single largest livelihood source of India, in which the rain-fed agriculture is as old as agriculture itself. Growing crop entire under rain-fed condition is known as dry land agriculture. The total geographic area of India is 328.12 million hectare. In this, 175 million hectare of land is degraded every year due to erosion, soil erosion or water erosion. Among the total geographic area, dry land agriculture is 85 million hectare, and total cultivated area in India is 143 million hectare. The dry land agriculture is divided in three categories depending upon the amount of rainfall received. First is dry farming. It is cultivated of crop region with annual rainfall less than 750 millimeters. And second is dry land farming, where received the rainfall more than 750 millimeter per year. In split of prolonged dry spell, crop failure is relatively less frequent, and crop growing period between 75 and 120 days. Moisture conservation practices are necessary. And third is rain-fed farming. Is crop production is grown where received rainfall more than 1150 millimeters. Crop are not subject to soil moisture stress during the crop period. Emphasis is often disposal of excess water, यानी drainage are necessary. Growing period more than 120 days. United Nations Economic Social Commission of Asia designed dry land agriculture mainly into two categories. दो कैटेगरी में बांटा गया, ड्राई लैंड एंड रेन फेड फार्मिंग. दी ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग और लैंड फेड फार्मिंग. एंड नेक्स्ट दी इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ ड्राई फार्मिंग इन इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर. दी अबाउट 70% ऑफ rural population live in dry land farming areas, which depend upon the success or failure of crop. Dry land agriculture plays a distinct role in Indian agriculture. 60% of cultivated area and support 40% of human population and 60% livestock population on dry land agriculture. The contribution of rain-fed agriculture in India is about 42% of the total food grains, 75% of the oilseed, 90% of the pulses, and about 70% of the cotton. By the end of 20th century, contribution of dry land will be 60% of India is to provide adequate food to 1,000 million peoples. And more than 90% of the area under sorghum, groundnut and pulses are rain-fed. In case of maize and chickpea, 82 to 85% area is rain-fed. Even 78% of cotton area is rain-fed. In case of rapeseed mustard, 65.8% area is rain-fed. At present, 3 hectares of dry land crop produce cereal grains equivalent to that produced in 1 hectare irrigated area. With the limited scope of increasing the area under plough, only option left is to increase the productivity with the modern techniques and inputs. The availability, which was 0.28 hectare in 19, is expected to decline 0.19 hectare in 2010. The productivity of grain already show a plateau in irrigated agriculture due to problems related to nutrient exhaustion. Salinity and problematic soils are also declining the production. Hence, new strategy would have evolved which would make the fertile dry land ecosystem more productive as well as sustainable. In order to achieve evergreen evolution, we have to make green areas as green through technological innovation. Dry land offers good scope for development of agroforestry, social forestry, horti, silvipasture and such other similar systems which not only support food, fuel to the village people and fodder to the cattle. This is the end.